draft. It comes as somewhat of a surprise because last week Coach Bill O'Brien said Watson was way ahead of any rookie quarterback he's been around. DeAndre Hopkins endorsed Savage, saying, if anybody should be a judge of quarterbacks, I've played with the most quarterbacks in NFL history throughout my first 4 years. So I put the stamp on Savage, and I think that's all that needs to be said about that. So because of what Savage does well and what he can do for this team, I know he can help us win what we want to win. He does everything well. Skip, who should get the start for Houston?
Shannon Sharp. This is not a second guess. This was a first guess.
Yes.
I said before the draft, Deshausn Watson will be the best player in this draft. And after Houston traded up from the 25th spot in the first round all the way up to 12, cost them next year's, all those spots plus next year's first, I said that Deshausn Watson will be this year's Dak Prescott if they let him. And now I'm not sure they're going to let him. He should be starting tonight. He should have to play or be allowed to play a first half of each of the first 3 preseason games because he's going to need it. And instead, I don't know if they're overprotecting him. I don't know if they just want to honor the incumbent, Tom Savage, who's been in the system for 3 years. Bill O'Brien's been outspoken about how much he loves that kid, even though he's also gushed about how well Deshausn has played so far in camp. But Tom Savage has played in all of 5 NFL games with a total of 2 career starts. And the shock me came over the weekend when DeAndre Hopkins, their Pro Bowl receiver, spoke out and up and said, I put my stamp on Savage. Okay, I get it, DeAndre, that you've been around him for 3 years.
Right.
And you probably like him.
Right.
And you probably come to trust him in practice situations.
Correct.
And he's just a veteran that you need to respect and protect. I get that. But it's just such a wrong message to send because he also said, DeAndre, that I should know I've played with more quarterbacks my first 4 years than anybody in history. Well, guess what? Tom Savage is just another one of those guys.
Yeah.
He's just a guy. He's a 4th-round pick, and I'm sure he's just fine. I saw him briefly last year, obviously. But all those guys are Matt Schaub, Case Keenum, and T.J. Yates, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Ryan Mallett, and Brian Hoyer, and Brandon Weeden, and Brock Osweiler. They all have their strengths, and they all had their moments, right?
Yeah, correct.
All of them did. And maybe Tom Savage will have some too. But the ceiling is much higher with Deshausn Watson because of his intangibles. What do we see him do against Alabama back-to-back years?
Yep.
And it's just not on raw ability. It's on big game, bright lights, intangibles.
He threw for over 400 yards in both games.
He did. But it's just when it's time to shine,
yes.
he shines.
Absolutely.
I'm going to call him a born winner because he won a Georgia State high school championship, and then he went to Clemson. That was a pretty great thing he did.
Yeah.
Little old Clemson, never really recognized as a top-flight school.
Skip, think about what it says about a young man and what that school and what that team thinks about a young man that they're willing to pull a retired jersey out of retirement and to let him wear it.
Yep.
Do you know what the kind of expectations is for him to fulfill that obligation that you ask? The mere fact that you would ask, Clemson, I want to come, but I've been 4 all my life. I want to wear number 4.
Yep.
Well, it's already retired. You got to call Steve Fuller.
Yep.
Steve Fuller had a conversation with him. Let him do it. This is a great representation of that number. That's the expectation, Skip. He was the number 1 dual threat quarterback. He had, I want to win a national championship. I want an ACC title. I want to win the Heisman. He got close to the Heisman. He won the national championship. He won the ACC. He was the best quarterback in the country. Skip, for me, you said he can be this year's Dak. But how did Dak get to become Dak? Because Romo did what he always did. He got hurt.
It was. The deck was cleared.
Yes.
So they had no choice but to go to Dak.
Right.
And it happened soon enough that he just got thrown right into the fire. And so he learned on the fly, right?
But think about it, Skip. He didn't start. Even the 3rd game where everybody game plans, everybody scripts, and so now they've gotten blitzes and they're calling, to your tendencies and trying to do things that exploit what you do really, really bad. So they still have time, Skip. I wouldn't rush him because, first of all, there's no reason to rush him. You do more harm to him than good if you start him, Skip, and then he falters and you pull him out and put Savage in. You can always look, if Savage falters, you could always go to Deshausn, because I believe that's, and there's no right or wrong, because you see some guys, now Carson Palmer, he didn't start his entire first year. Cam Newton didn't start the first preseason game. Andrew Luck did. So, Skip, you have to weigh it on, you got to look at the quarterback and look at how he's built, but you also got to look at where your team is. Now, this team think they can challenge.
They do.
Now, really, the best.
Well, obviously, in their division, they got a real shot.
You should be able to challenge in that division.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Skip, I believe, now, if it's close, I'm going with Deshausn. But if Savage is better, I'm gonna give him an opportunity, because they've won the division 2 of the last 3 years at a 9-7 record. Now we know, Skip, if they just have competent quarterback play with the way they play defense, with J.J. Watt coming back, and they had the #1 defense, I think, in a lot of categories last year. So Watt coming back with Clowney and Merciless, and that offense with the firepower they have, think about it. They got Blake Bortles. Indy doesn't know. We're going to talk about Andrew Luck a little later. They don't know if and when he's coming back. Yep. And then you got Marcus Mariota, who they won the tiebreak over. So they have an opportunity to do something really special. But I wouldn't rush Deshausn Watson, because I can always go to him. But it's hard when you start him and then you pull him out and then you try to go back to him. So you don't want to wreck his confidence, Skip. So you have time. Just let it play out. Tom Savage will reveal himself. You don't move up 13 spots if you thought Tom Savage could do the job. And I get DeAndre. See, I get what he's doing, Skip. He plays a dependent position. And you feel more comfortable with the vet, because in worst case, guess what he's going to do, Skip? He's going to DeAndre. Hey, DeAndre. And DeAndre's going to, hey, Tom, get in trouble. You know, you throw the ball up to your boy got you. Hey, DeAndre, I'm going to be looking for you now. Get open for me. So I know, Skip, I'm one of them guys. You know, I used to beg for the ball. But I get what DeAndre is doing. And I get what Tom Savage, and he might have a slight lead. But they know what they have in Tom Savage. Normally, guys,
and what they don't have.
That's why they moved. That's why they gave up next year's #1 to get this kid. If you thought Tom Savage could take them where they wanted to go, they would have done that, Skip.
That is correct.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so to me, don't stunt Deshausn Watson's growth. Throw him in. It won't hurt. He's been through the ringer. He's been through the fire of Nick Saban twice in national championship games. This stage is not too big for him. Let him learn on the fly. Did it hurt Dak to get thrown into the opener last year, into the fire?
No.
Did he struggle? No, I didn't see him struggle.
He struggled.
No, I didn't.
They struggled. Scored with 19 points.
But 19?
19.
Against the defense you're telling me was the best defense in pro football?
They weren't the best defense, but they were the best defense against the Cowboys.
Did he have 2 drop touchdown passes in the first quarter? One by Measly Beasley and one by Dez in the corner of the end zone? Drop touchdowns.
I don't really get that.
Terrence Williams failed to run out of bounds at the end of the game when they're rallying.
You heard that, Joey? That's excuse number 7. You got any more? You got any more?
I'm giving you fact number 7.
The fact of the matter is, you scored 19 and you scored 7 against that vaunted offense with Dak, the best rookie quarterback ever, Zeke running the football, the best offensive line, and you scored 26 points in 2 games.
Wet ball, slush ball. First thing Eli said, volunteered in his postgame press conference was, that ball was so slick, I just couldn't hold on to it. At one point, Eli slipped so badly out of his hands, it went sideways right to a Dallas Cowboy. Wow.
Skip, do you think Eli was playing in the bubble? He wasn't playing indoors and Dak playing outdoors. He sure found a way to throw the ball to Odell, who found a way to get the ball in the end zone.
He made one throw. It was a one-throw game. It was 10-7. They destroyed. My Cowboy defense that you said was so awful just got devastated by 10 total points.
It was a wet ball.
Yeah.
They'd score more if they'd had that wet ball.
And Barry didn't go to church on that play because he took the long angle.
Hey.
How are you, Barry, in Jacksonville?
How's
the weather?
When he went to church. He went to church.
Yeah.
But this Sunday, Barry didn't go to church.
Yeah, we don't need to go to church this year. We're good enough. We're just okay with
So that's, I just want you to see, Cowboys, as long as you're on his team, he loves you. But when you go somewhere else, he's not the biggest fan.
We're going to go to Heath this year.
Okay, what about
Jeff Heath, who intercepted?
What about Byron Jones?
Twice last year.
What about Byron Jones?
He'll be at free. those
Oh,
two.
whoa.
Yeah.
But you
I
said,
mean, he'll be strong. Byron will be strong, and Jeff.
but you told me, what is he doing? Byron Jones, what are you doing?
He had a lapse because they were playing a prevent.
Okay.
Coordinator,
Yeah,
Rod
lapse, huh?
Marinelli. Yeah. But this is a lapse in judgment because you have to start Deshausn after he blew you away early in camp, and you're not going to start him.
Yeah. Skip, he said he looked as good as any rookie. Tom Savage isn't a rookie. They're not on equal playing field. He's been in this offense for 2 years. He should, just by from a terminology, does he have more athletic ability? Absolutely not. Can he throw a better ball? No. But Skip, just by
he might be able to throw a better ball. I don't think Deshausn has a huge arm.
No, but just on terminology alone, he's ahead of where Deshausn is.
Well, sure. Okay.
So
but what happened 1 year ago this Saturday at the L.A. Coliseum? Dak Prescott happened. Why did he happen in that preseason game against the L.A. Rams? Because they were protecting Romo. They didn't want to play him. And in the first half, with the starters, I sat back. That was the first time I saw it. And I said, who is that?
Skip, everything was
unbelievable. And that's when Michael Irvin was sitting up next to Jerry Jones up in an owner's box at the L.A. Coliseum. They're going to play again this Saturday. At the L.A. Coliseum, and Michael turned to Jerry and said, look at the sideline. They're all jumping up and down for the touchdown pass that Dak just threw to Terrence Williams. They saw it. They knew it. He was handling himself like he'd been playing for 10 years as the face of the franchise.
That's what we do when rookie, because we're excited for them. We want this. Hey, you can play in this. You can play in this league. We're excited, Skip. We want you to be a part of this thing. But Michael Irvin says every year the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. They remind me of the triplets. Well, when they get 3 championships,
He didn't say that every year. He said it last year.
When look, they had 88. They got Zeke and Emmett. They got Dak. Until they win 3 Super Bowls in a 5-year span, y'all holler at me. And Michael, don't call me with your foolishness.
Foolishness?
Yes.
Well, right now there's this guy Brady up in Foxborough, so it's a big obstacle to get over right now.
Dog, man, we got this. You ain't got nothing this year, Mike. Y'all not winning the Super Bowl, Skip.
Getting to.
You're not.